or Google Play. It is wherever you get your apps from. We'll give you a run through of the games taking place at 3 o'clock in the Championship. And Palace moving their way forward here. Eberechi Eze, left hand side, 30 yards out from goal, being put under pressure by Mateo Kovacic, back in towards the path of Jefferson Lerma on the halfway. Here's Daichi Kamada for Crystal Palace, played out towards Maxine Lacroix. Will go out towards the right hand side and forward in towards the possessions. Melia Star in space, edge of the penalty, ball goes in. Eberechi Eze pokes the ball home in towards the bottom left hand corner from around about 12 yards out. And Crystal Palace have the early lead here at the Etihad Stadium. It's a happy hunting ground for the Eagles, and they've got off to the perfect start here. Eberechi Eze with the goal. Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1, 8 minutes on the clock, and the inform Eagles have struck early. And it was so easy for them on the right hand side. McCoy with the ball out in towards the path of Ismail Yassar, who had so much time and space, definitely onside. And as the ball goes in, Eberechi Eze times his run to perfection, making that run towards the back post. And with Edison out and committed, had the simple task of poking the ball home first time. Side-footed, right-footed, close range, and in towards the bottom left-hand corner. And Crystal Palace find themselves in front, much to the jubilation and delight of Oliver Glasner. Pep Guardiola wasn't happy there. Maybe he thought that there was an offside in the build-up. A puff of the cheeks from the Manchester City boss. But for Eberechi Eze, a goal to savour at the Etihad Stadium. 9 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And already an early setback for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, who find themselves in a bit of trouble in terms of the race for Champions League qualification this season. As for Eberechi Eze, that is goal number 4 of his Premier League season. Has got 8 assists to his name as well in 27 appearances prior to today. And for Crystal Palace, who had to just soak up a little bit of Manchester City pressure in the early stages, then managed to find a counter-attacking goal. And when scoring first this season, they've won 10, drawn 3, and lost just once when they've opened the account in terms of goal scoring in matches. 10 minutes gone here. Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1 here on a sunny afternoon in Manchester, here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Here's Rico Lewis for Manchester City, back in towards the possession of Ruben Diaz, 25 yards out from his own goal. Kovacic through the middle, inside the centre circle, up against the goal scorer Eze. Out towards Gundogan on this left-hand side. Infield towards Marmoush. 2 up against him, was looking to feed through Kovacic. There was space, but Kovacic couldn't quite find it. And so Palace have 13 goals from corners or free kicks so far in this campaign. And once again, Crystal Palace finding joy. Up against Lewis again. The ball goes out of play. Last touch coming off the Manchester City man for a Crystal Palace throw. 11 minutes gone. Manchester City 0, Crystal Palace 1 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary. Half of Eze. Mitchell again. Crossfield ball. We'll lay it out towards the right hand side and in towards the possession of across our 3 o'clock commentaries here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Goal notifications from games in the Premier League and Championship as the afternoon goes on. O'Reilly on the left-hand side inside the penalty area for Manchester City, being upended by 2, but turns his way past Munoz, plays it back in towards the path of Marmoush. Here's Ilkay Gundogan out towards De Bruyne, 25 yards out right-hand side. Looking to float the ball in, was unable to do so with Kamada keeping close chase. Gavardio towards Kovacic, forward towards the possession of Gundogan. De Bruyne threads it through in towards the air on his right foot, but he'll go straight into the path of Dean Henderson between the sticks for Crystal Palace. Reminder as well of our 3 Premier League live commentaries this afternoon. Brighton Hove Albion take on Leicester, Nottingham Forest up against Everton, and Southampton against Aston Villa. You can listen to here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service once we're done here at the Etihad, and the late game comes to you from the Emirates Stadium as Arsenal take on Brentford. It's a 5:30 start for that one here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Meanwhile, here at the Etihad, Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2 the score. A really enthralling opening period's worth of play here at the Etihad. Here's Ruben Dias for Manchester City, out towards the path of Rico Lewis, short towards Kovacic. Now here's Lewis again. Played in towards the possession of Josko Gvardiol. He'll lay it out in towards the possession of Nico O'Reilly. Gvardiol again for the Sky Blues. We'll play it in towards the path of Ruben Dias. Dias towards the possession of McAtee. Dias again. We'll play it out towards the left-hand side, but flicked away by Munoz for Crystal Palace, who's effectively come in now as a part of a back five. Mitchell and Munoz now tucking in as opposed to advancing their way forward. Here's Ruben Dias out in towards the possession of Rico Lewis. De Bruyne on the right-hand side towards the edge of the box, looking to thread through Lewis, but unable to do so. One back by Eberechi Eze for Manchester City. Loses out. One back by De Bruyne, but Eze was upended by doing in that process, and so a free kick to Crystal Palace, 10 yards on the edge of opposition territory. 42.5 minutes gone. You have just joined us. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2. Palace had a 2-goal lead courtesy of goals from Eberechi Eze and Chris Richards. Eze thought he added a third in the 28th minute. That was disallowed for an offside. And then 2 goals in 3 minutes, one by Kevin De Bruyne from a free kick, and then Omar Marmoush tapping home from close range has levelled the game here at the Etihad. It's been a superb watch. Nobody's left to go to the concessions at half time, it looks like, as of yet, where usually at this time of the half you just see the ground begin to filter out a little bit and everybody goes to get their half time libation. But I think the fans here are very much high on the energy levels that this game has provided us. And Manchester City have a free kick here, around about 30 yards out from goal down the centre as we enter the final 30 seconds of normal time at the end of this opening period. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2 here in the Premier League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. De Bruyne to take this set piece again for Manchester City. It was his free kick from admittedly much closer range, which gave Manchester City the lead in this contest. Is he able to complete the turnaround within the space of 23 first half minutes? From 2-0 down to 3-2 up. The free kick goes in. It's a poor delivery. It's flicked away, and now here's Sarr for Crystal Palace on the right hand side in the middle of his own half. Lerma back to Sarr. One back though cheaply by Gundogan as it looked to find Chris Richards, and City have possession here with Marmoush. One back by Lerma, but a heavy touch and he couldn't quite keep it in play, and it's going to be a Manchester City throwing down their left to chase it towards the penalty spot. Play back towards O'Reilly. Here's Rico Lewis now towards Kevin De Bruyne for Manchester City. Out towards O'Reilly. Glanced on. I was looking to find Gundogan. One back by Ismaila Sarr. O'Reilly regathers it again, beating Munoz to the ball. Kevin De Bruyne out towards Rico Lewis. Lewis back towards Ruben Dias for Manchester City. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Gonzalez in towards the possession of Ruben Dias, and now De Bruyne on the right hand side. He's got Lewis as an overlapping one. 3 minutes added on at the end of the opening period here. Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 2